Ill and paranoid Putin is entangled in a complex network of deceit, with his body double providing him with a smokescreen to evade assassination attempts. Rumors about Putin's illness are being propagated by the Kremlin as an informational vaccine to mask any actual future difficulties, according to Ilya Ponomarev, a former insider of the Kremlin. The dictator who governs like a mafia boss yet thinks like a spy has some interesting quirks, according to a man who has battled Putin from both inside the Kremlin and in exile. A man ensnared in a spider's web of his own creation, the dictator is not the all-powerful ruler he seems to be, according to Ilya Ponomarev, a former Russian lawmaker who now assists in leading the armed Russian resistance. From 2007 until his abrupt departure from Russia in 2016 under personal orders from Putin, the 48-year-old Russian renegade served in the Russian State Duma. Out in the open, he now commands a group of pro-Ukrainian guerrilla warriors and is a co-conspirator in the Russian shadow cabinet that is taking shape in Kiev in anticipation of Putin's inevitable downfall. He revealed to The Sun that he had always dreamed of changing the world and that he felt compelled to enter politics upon Putin's ascension to power in 1999, at the age of 71. Afterwards, he joined the opposing side. The system could be changed through elections was Ponomarev's original belief, but he soon learned that the Kremlin was an inaccessible machine run by filth, avarice, and dirty under-the-table dealings. He claimed this was how Putin's criminal enterprise worked. He's a KGB guy, and this is his rule of governing. Akin to a mafia boss from The Godfather, Putin has a gangster personality, Ponomarev went on to say. He plays by the rules. At our table, we use the Russian word ponutia, which means understandings. A set of rules of behavior that upholds a criminal environment is the bedrock of his administration, much like in a prison, per Ponomarev. Nevertheless, the Russian dictator despises any hint of betrayal the most. Putin will not hesitate to neutralize any threat, and his animosity towards anyone he feels has betrayed him or the system stems from his time spent working as a spy. Denis Voronenkov, a fellow Putin opponent and dissident Russian lawmaker, was fatally assassinated in March 2017 while traveling to Kiev to meet with Ponomarev. It was widely believed that the audacious contract, killing in broad daylight, was orchestrated by Russian intelligence. Ukrainian security forces now defend Ponomarev, and he still keeps a machine gun by the door, as he previously confessed. Adrift in a web spun by a spider, paranoid and elderly ruler's health and potential employment of body doubles to conceal from public view have been the subject of wild speculation and rumors for years. The Kremlin is known for spreading lies, but according to Ponomarev, some of the most outrageous accusations are emanating from within. The doubles are being spread by Putin himself, he asserted, calling them a hoax. A garment of lies, he said, is an attempt by the president's henchmen to protect the president. The longtime Kremlin critic insisted it is just a protective mechanism, even though it appears strange and maybe counterintuitive. If you think there are a lot of imposters, you won't know who to target. Attacking Putin would be futile if you don't know who to target, Ponomarev stated. He continued by saying that the Kremlin's actions are an information vaccine that could protect Putin's health against real problems in the future. It seems to me that there is an effort to sow discord among the Russian people by perpetuating false claims, such as he is almost dying, he said, before going on to clarify that the assertions were nothing more than idle speculation. Therefore, no one will believe it when confronted with an actual issue. In October, when claims arose in a widely followed Telegram channel claiming Putin's death, the wild rumors reached a peak and the Kremlin had to issue an unusual denial. It was very hilarious how, a few days later, the Kremlin had to reject rumors that a doppelganger had taken over Russia and reiterate that the autocrat was still alive. Rumor has it that the FSB brutally trains and maintains constant surveillance on a large number of people who have undergone extensive plastic surgery to have the appearance of Vladimir Putin. Commentators have claimed that these stand-ins often attend public engagements, walkabouts, and meetings because to the unusual shifts in Vlad's behavior and the fact that his visage changes every day, Ukrainian intelligence has consistently provided evidence supporting these accusations, asserting that Putin is in his latter days and his bodyguards are in charge, regardless of Putin's efforts to portray himself as an action man. Concerns regarding his aging face and potential symptoms of Parkinson's disease and pancreatic cancer have persisted for some time. Ponomarev does not anticipate the autocrat having a long life, even though he does not believe the assertions that something terminal may kill him by tomorrow. Ponomarev saw Putin's continual health problems and the frequent attendance of medical professionals before he was deported. Putin was 71 years old. We shouldn't place bets based on his expected lifespan. It could be 5, 3, or 7 years. If God decides, then that's good. We need to fight, he admonished, saying that we shouldn't depend on it just yet. The head of the opposition party is eager to disprove the myth that Putin has been spreading about himself as Russia's sole ruler for decades. According to Ponomarev, Putin decides which strings to pull, but wolves are still knocking on Putin's door. Everything in the web is working to ensure his survival. He's just a spider sitting in the center. The great Kremlin power brokers, including the military, security, and government top brass, are these elements to which Ponomarev alludes. The Kremlin source added that Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin and Secretary of the Security Council Nikolai Patrushev, who presently has a lot of power in his hands, are the most powerful and dangerous individuals in the Russian state. Others believed to be competing for the position include Alexander Bortnikov and Sergei Naryshkin, who are both head spies under Putin. Nobody that Ponomarev would provide the opportunity to take Russia into its darkest hour. According to Putin ally Ponomarev, 40 of the 100 Russian MPs who make up the Congress of People's Deputies are still physically present in Russia. This shadow cabinet is known as the Purging Putin Protest. Putin opposes what he terms modern-day fascism, and his supporters want to rid Russia of Putinism so that the country can face the 100% reality of his eventual overthrow. Without naming names, he asserts that he is in talks with top-level Kremlin officials who he believes would betray them. More than just threats, we must offer incentives to get them out of here. This is crucial if we want the system to begin to crumble, he added with a mischievous grin. Ponomarev refers to the impending trigger moment as the reason the shadow cabinet has been plotting Russia's future after Putin for the past 2 years, is prepared to confront the Kremlin tycoon at the appropriate moment, supported by their volunteer army of pro-Ukrainian Russian rebel groups. We have reached a significant milestone, he declared with conviction. We are ready to strike. Does he feel fear? Yes, the war has begun. We aren't taking nearly as much risk as our ground troops.